Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you guys on some more current latest news now. A bit more things now was updated in the press, and I'm going to be officially updating you on it right now. So reportedly, the 12-time Champions League winners, record holders, Real Madrid, are reportedly interested in apparently interested in making a move for Juan Mata, and possibly it did say Real Madrid could make a move for Juan Mata in January in the current process, because we know this is, I think, his third or fourth season now in the process with Man United. We know he's been in his Premier League experience anyway, because he has been in the Premier League since 2011. All in all, as Juan Mata, he's made over 2 century appearances and scored about 46 goals as well. But reportedly Real Madrid are interesting, because that's where he started his career, and he graduated from Real Madrid's youth system as well, Juan Mata. But we also know that Juan Mata basically is coming to an end of his current deal. I think he's out of contract at the end of the season. He's Juan Mata. But I said he did say Man United could will to maybe sell the player in January, because I said we'd rather cash in for Mata if he is to go. We'd rather cash in for him in January. Rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer in the current process. But Juan Mata, has never won a Premier League. He's never won a Premier League. But he was at Chelsea about 3 years. With Chelsea, he won the Champions League with them. Chelsea have only won the Champions League once, but he won the Champions League with them. I think FA Cup with them. I think the Europa League with them as well. So his Premier League experience, as I said, Juan Mata this season, when he has been playing, he's been playing mostly on that right hand side. He's played a couple of times at number 10, but Mkhitaryan's been playing mainly in that number 10 position, as we all know. But reportedly, Real Madrid may make a move for him in January, because that's where he began his youth career. That's where he'd risen up the youth system with Real Madrid, and then he went to the likes of Valencia for about 4 seasons. Across 4 seasons, he played in. He made about 174 appearances for Valencia. Did Juan Mata as well, and then Chelsea purchased him for £28 million. He was at Chelsea about 3 years, as we all know, in the current process. But he's won the likes of the Under-21 Championship, Juan Mata, the UEFA Under-21 Championship, the UEFA Under-19 Championship. He won the FIFA Club World Cup also in 2010. Won UEFA Euro in 2012 as well, Juan Mata. And he's been at Old Trafford since, I think, 2014, and we purchased him for nearly £40 million in the region. But he's made a fantastic, impact since he's been at Manchester United. And yeah, so it's reportedly saying that Real Madrid could make a move for him in January, because obviously Real Madrid, probably wasn't satisfied, with their transfer business, because they did sell quite a lot of players as well. And also, we know when Mata's coming to the end of his deal, he's actually been tipped to sign a new deal, but in the process, Manchester United have not secured Juan Mata a new deal. And also, earlier on, I can't remember when it was, he also rejected, did Juan Mata. He turned down a big money move to China as well, did Juan Mata. But this is recently reported in the press today, that reportedly Real Madrid could make a move for Juan Mata in the current process as well. So that's the latest news, to give you just a bit of an update on that as well. And he did turn down a big money move to China, as I said, did matter in the current process. But yeah, Man United may will to let him go, because it has been mentioned in the press in the last couple of days about Jose Mourinho. Reportedly now, Jose Mourinho, it's also not just Juan Mata. He also said, Fellaini could be set to leave, Manchester United in January as well. Also, too, Luke Shaw could be set to leave in January as well, because it basically clarified that Jose Mourinho has been notified, and he has been told that he has to sell. He's been told, basically, the Man United, I think, board of Tom Marino, he has to sell before he can buy. And it's been reported in the press in this situation about this as well. So he has to sell before he can buy. So what he's partly saying, when Mata could leave now, we could cash in for Juan Mata in January. We've also got Fellaini. He's another player for Man United, another midfielder, because Jose Marino's still looking at a couple of midfielders, isn't he, as we all know. But Marian Fellaini's another player that's coming to an end of his deal. Man United have not secured Fellaini a new deal yet with the club. We know this is Fellaini's I think it's 5th season or 4th season now in the process with Man United. Is Marian Fellaini's. We paid just over £27 million for him from Everton. We know he hasn't made much of an impact since he's come to Manchester United, because we've had him in the Moyes era and Van Gaal era. But I think this season, Fellaini's done fantastically well. Before he suffered that injury, he's just recently come back from injury as well. But before that injury, Fellaini made a fantastic impact. He was scoring scoring, his link-up play was absolutely fantastic as well. But he's another player whose deal is coming to an end as well. So Jose Mourinho's, still identified, the position where we need to strengthen up. We definitely need someone that can cross the ball into the box. We definitely presumably need someone at the left back now to replace Luke Shaw as well, because basically what it said about Luke Shaw in the current process is what it said about Luke Shaw. Wait there, guys. What it said about Luke Shaw, that he did say that he fears his career could be over in Man United. I think it confirmed the other week. He had a fallout with Jose Mourinho, did Luke Shaw, and then he fears his career could be over in Man U. Maybe Luke Shaw's maybe keen on reuniting with Pochettino. After they were fantastic together at Southampton. Because that's where Luke Shaw's risen up the ranks. We know he's had injury problems as Luke Shaw. We know since he's been at Old Trafford. We know he made his England international debut in 2014. He made his England international debut in 2014. And we purchased him for £29 million for Southampton back in 2014, and that's where he risen up the ranks. But we know before he'd been participating for the under-23s, but he knows now Luke Shaw's not satisfied and he's frustrated with the lack of game time he's getting under Jose Mourinho. I think he's now 4th, 5th choice left back. But it did come out in the press the other day about Luke Shaw, about Manchester United, that Man United are willing to let him go out on loan in January. And Luke Shaw, I think, does want to make the move because he knows he's about 4th or 5th choice left back now, because we've had different players playing there. We've had Blin playing there, Darmian, Ashley Young. We've had a lot of players playing a lot of left back positions, so we could see Luke Shaw go. Fellaini now go. Reportedly, Besiktas are interested in Fellaini as well, at what I heard. But we know during August that Galatasaray being heavily linked with him as well. But reportedly now about the Juan Mata situation, Real Madrid are reportedly interested in Mata. That's where he began his career, Juan Mata. So could he possibly go back to the club where he started his career at? Juan Mata as well, but I think this is his 3rd or 4th season now in the process with Man United. I think this is his 4th season, but he's completed 3 successful seasons at Man United. Hasn't won a Premier League medal, as I said, but he has, with us, won the Europa League. Won the FA Cup with us, the Europa League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, and all that. And with Chelsea, won the Champions League. He won the FA Cup with Chelsea, but he's not won a Premier League medal, but reportedly Real Madrid could make a move for him in January as well. And he was good with Valencia. He had 4 good seasons there, made 774 appearances as well. Won the UEFA Under-19 Championship, UEFA European Under-19 Championship, UEFA European Under-21 Championship. Won FIFA Club World Cup as well. And, very, very good indeed, Juan Mata. And as I said, Man United may cash him in January, if he doesn't sign a new deal, because we obviously wouldn't want to let him go on a free next summer at Juan Mata. But reportedly, this is in the press today at Real Madrid are interested. But reportedly now, it's also been confirmed about Jose Mourinho, that the board have initially told him he has to sell, before he can buy, because we know Jose Mourinho. This is on his second season in the process with Man United. Won the FL Cup with us last season. He won the Community Shield and the Europa League with us last season, did Jose Mourinho. And this is his second season of the process, and he has got a 3-year deal. And I think all in all, in 3 transfer windows, he has spent nearly £300 million. The majority of that money, went on Paul Pogba, which was £89 million, as we all know as well. But as I said, Jose Mourinho, I think, only cashed in on one player during, the August window, and that was Adnan Januzaj. We sold off. I can't remember where he went to, but we did get rid of Adnan Januzaj. We spent nearly £300 million in about 3 transfer windows, as I said. But there's been reports, as I said, in the last couple of days, partly Jose Mourinho has been approached by PSG. George Mendes, who has strong connections with Man United, who's currently Mourinho's agent. Reportedly has been discussions with Paris Saint-Germain over maybe Mourinho actually going to Paris Saint-Germain, because in a 3-year deal with Man United, we know he missed out on quite a few targets, Mourinho, during the window. Didn't get Bale, didn't get Griezmann, due to the transfer ban. The main part of it was the transfer ban. Went for Fabinho in the midfield. We didn't get Fabinho. And he went for quite a few players, even Perisic, we didn't get him because we wasn't willing to pay the £48 million that Inter Milan, were demanding. But yeah, I think he did say he has to sell before he buys in this window. But reportedly PSG have approached him, because he did confirm Mourinho He did say he was demanding a pay rise of £3 million, and if he was to go along with this, well, if he did accept the pay rise, he'd get him a new deal with Man United. It said there were going to be discussions taking place about that. But yeah, he did confirm the other month. There was reports about him. He said about Paris Saint-Germain, the special, the fantastic, and he did say he would not end his managerial career with Man United. He did say, I don't want to. He did say also he would spend 15 years with Man United. But we know Jose Mourinho's a winner, one of the best managers out there. But we know he's a winger. He's got a good pedigree. He's done it with Chelsea, Real Madrid, Porto. But we know he's not had a very, very long tenure. The longest tenure he's had is 3 years, and it's 15 years. He's basically trying to follow the Fergie legacy there when he's saying I want to spend 15 years or maybe more at Man United. But reportedly it has been linked with Paris Saint-Germain as well in the process. But for me, we're still looking at quite a few players in the current process now. As I did say, and at the left back position, as I said, to replace Luke Shaw, I'd like Danny Rose at Man United. We've been linked to, we were linked with Jordi Alba, during the August window. Danny Rose, Jordi Alba, even Ryan Sessegnon. Also, Tottenham were linked to Ryan Sessegnon as well. But, could there possibly a swap deal? Danny Rose, reportedly a few teams have been interested in Luke Shaw. He comes to an end of his contract 2019. But Danny Rose, as I said, very, very good. He's been at Tottenham 10 years. He started as a Leeds United player, but he's been at quite a few teams on loan. He's got a deal to 2021 with Tottenham as Danny Rose. We know he'd been injured quite a long time, and he's been at Tottenham 10 years. And as I said, he become more of a regular in Tottenham's team 2012-2013 season. He criticised Tottenham for their lack of investment in the window. And he also criticised for the lack of investment in the window, and he also said he wasn't satisfied with the wage he was seeing, but he did say before he was willing to turn Chelsea down and he would prefer the move to Old Trafford, would Danny Rose. But I think he'd be a perfect replacement for Luke Shaw if Luke Shaw is to leave the club in January. But as I said, I'd love Danny Rose at Man U. He's made over century appearances now, as I said, as Danny Rose in the current process. But I would like him also. And also, we've heard, what else did we have? Jordi Alba, very, very good. I'd maybe like him as a left back because he's got fantastic work rate. He's got fantastic stamina as well. Where we were linked with him during the August window as well from Barcelona. And then you've also got, not just, Ryan Sessegnon, who I really, really like as well. He's a fantastic left back. The way that he's risen up the ranks fantastically well. Fantastic young age prospect, Ryan Sessegnon. He was fantastic, in his debut season last season with Fulham as well, was Ryan Sessegnon. He was fantastic, in his debut season last season with Fulham was Ryan Sessegnon. I think he made nearly 30 appearances in all competitions, scored about 6 or 7 goals. He's risen up the ranks. He's a fantastic generated left back. He's Ryan Sessegnon. I did report that Man U had been into Man United monitoring and Jose Mourinho monitoring Ryan Sessegnon. Said Tottenham were monitoring him as well, but he did say Fulham could demand £50 million to Tottenham if Tottenham are to make a move for Ryan Sessegnon in January. Ryan Sessegnon signed a 3-year professional deal back in June with Fulham as well. But we know he's risen up the ranks fantastically well as Ryan Sessegnon in the current process. No arguments about that. What a fantastic player. It'd be good to see him come and experience the Premier League if Ryan Sessegnon was to make the move. You could say £50 million. If Fulham were to demand that, is a lot of money for the Championship player. I think Tottenham had £25 million bid turned down for him in August as well. But Man United have reportedly been interested in him because he's a player that made his first team debut against Leyton Orient in the FL Cup. He made his first team Champions League championship debut against Leeds and scored his first goal against Cardiff, as well, become the youngest player to score in a championship match, and also scored against Cardiff on his FA Cup debut as well, Ryan Sessegnon in the current process. But what a player he is, and how he's risen up the ranks has just been absolutely phenomenal. And he's been at Fulham since 2008, so he has been there nearly 10 years, as we all know. And he's been there nearly 10 years. And when he joined in 2008, he played for the under-9 teams. The under-9 team did Ryan Sessegnon as well. So reportedly, Mourinho's been interested in him. And another player, Kieran Turner is another player from Celtic who I'd like as a left back. And, both teams have, been interested in Kieran Turner and Moussa Dembele in the current process as well. Kieran Turner, very, very good indeed, guys. It said Man United and Tottenham have reportedly been interested because Danny Rose's future is uncertain at Tottenham. Quite a few teams have been interested in Kieran Turner and Moussa Dembele because Moussa Dembele is a forward, one of the brightest prospects out there. In Europe especially, and since he's been at Celtic, he's been fantastic. So too Kieran Turner. But yeah, partly quite a lot of teams have been interested in both players, but he did say they could both cost up to £50 million. They both could cost up to £50 million, but Celtic may be reluctant and resisted to offload, the players, But reportedly Tottenham showed interest in Kieran Turner, Man United have showed an interest in Kieran Turner, very, very good, bright prospect indeed. As I said, he made his international debut in 2016. He's made 8 senior appearances for Scotland as well. He's just recently signed a 6-year deal, so it may be hard, to go on and get a deal over the line as well for Kieran Turner. But we know he's risen up the youth system with Celtic fantastically well. We know he started as a 7-year-old, did Kieran Turner. We know, well, that's when he signed for Celtic at 7-year-old. We know he made his competitive debut in 2015, his competitive senior debut, so that's when he played in the first team, like April 2015. Competitive debut in April 2015, then during 2015-16 he had a breakout season, played in over 30 odd games, and 2016 October injured, he was out for a couple of months, but fantastic prospect, as I said, Kieran Turner, very, very good indeed. So reportedly, there has been a few teams interested in him as well, and he'd be a good replacement for Luke Shaw as well. But thinking of a midfield replacement, there's quite a few, like Jose Mourinho, has looked into if Fellaini was to go, because he did say we need to sell, before we actually buy in the current process as well. He did say we need to sell before we buy, but a few midfielders, I think, Sanchez would be fantastic for us, but I just, because Sanchez, his versatility is good, he can play in the front line, anywhere in the forward line, he can play as a winger, he can play in the attacking mid as well, but same with Juan Mata, he can play in the mid, he can play as attacking mid, can matter, and he can play as a winger as well, but I'd love Sanchez, because Sanchez is a fantastic, versatile player, and Sanchez, he's been linked with a lot of teams. We know that Sanchez has been linked with a lot of teams. He's been linked with like Bayern Munich, but we're partly now saying he's not going to join Bayern Munich. He's been heavily linked with a move to Manchester City. He's reportedly said that Everton have been interested. Paris Saint-Germain have been interested, and reportedly, they've invested a lot of money. And reportedly, Sanchez, has been demanding. Reportedly Sanchez has been demanding a higher wage increase from Paris Saint-Germain if he was to go there. I think he did this during the August when he also demanded a higher wage from Arsenal as well. This bloody SIGs. I need to put some liquid in this. Also was demanding a higher wage from Arsenal as well. We know he's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons. This is his 4th season now. I think this is his 4th season now in the process with Arsenal Football Club. And I think, he's still keen on reuniting with Pep Guardiola because they were fantastic together at Barcelona. But he did say City would rather wait until next summer to get him on a free transfer rather than pay 20 or 30 million pounds for him in January. But as I said, Arsenal would rather cash in for Sanchez rather than let him go on a free next summer because we know he's refused to sign a new deal. He comes to an end of his deal as well. But we know Man United have still had that slight interest in Alexis Sanchez. He'd be fantastic for us. As I said, he's made over century appearances now since he's been at Arsenal. As I said, very, very good player indeed. Versatility good, work rate good, establishes himself well in an Arsenal team. But as I said, Arsenal would rather cash in for Sanchez, rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer. But we'll see. But Everton reportedly saying they were going to put £30 million for him. Everton have had a bad start to the season. I don't see him going there because obviously we know Sanchez was demanding him on in Champions League football. And with Everton, he's not going to have this. With Everton, he's not going to win silverware. And I think he wants to go to a team, where he can win silverware. And Sanchez, we know he made his international debut in 2006 also. Did Alexis Sanchez. And we know Real Madrid had reportedly been interested in him. He made his international debut in 2006. Did Alexis Sanchez, and he won honours at River Plate, Coca-Cola, he was underneath, he was at underneath quite a few years, and he went to Barcelona in 2011, he spent, I think, about 3 seasons with Barcelona where he won honours there. 21 goals in his last season as well with Barcelona. And then Arsenal purchased him £35 million. But I do think he's going to leave. But City, want to get Sanchez, definitely, because that's on Manchester City's agenda, as we all know. But I'd like him at Man U because his versatility is good, his ball control is good, he can penetrate, he's a good finisher. So I'd like Alexis Sanchez, but I just don't see him coming to Old Trafford. But yeah, another reason, Mesut Ozil, as well, could Mesut Ozil be possibly the next Man United player that could come? Because we know now, reportedly, it's said in the basically, Jose Mourinho's been notified we have to sell before we buy in January, and that's what's been reported in the press. Could it be Mesut Ozil? If we sell, Fellaini and stuff like that, could Ozil, be the potential replacement? Could Ozil be the idea? Because Jose Mourinho classifies him as a fantastic number 10, Mesut Ozil, as I said. It did confirm that the contract talks stalled quite a long time ago now between the club, the player and his representatives. He can create chances, he can provide assists as well, can Mesut Ozil, as we all know. He's made over century appearances now since he's been at Arsenal. He has been at Arsenal since 2013 as Mesut Ozil, current World Cup winner. So this is his 5th season in the process with Arsenal Football Club. It also reported the other week that he was demanding a higher wage. Alexis. He was demanding a higher wage. Was Mesut Ozil? I think he was demanding over £300,000 or something like that. Was Mesut Ozil as well. But we know it was also in Bundesliga for 5 years, was Mesut Ozil. But it did confirm that I said Arsenal would rather cash in for Ozil in January, rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer. Could still see out his deal, as I said. But Jose Mourinho says he's a good number 10. And Jose Mourinho, used to work fantastically well with Mesut Ozil, during their time together at Real Madrid. They had 3 fantastic years together at Real Madrid, did Mesut Ozil and Jose Mourinho. So potentially it could be possible, it could possibly happen in the prospect that Arsenal would rather cash in. As I said, rather than let him go on the free chance next summer. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with Arsenal as well. But Arsenal paid £42.5 million for him for Madrid, second most expensive signing now, and the highest paid fee also for the German player in the current process as well. This keeps crashing, sorry about that, just keeps lagging a bit, it's getting on my nerves. But yeah, could he potentially Manchester United's next signing, Mesut Ozil? But Jose Mourinho has been, interested in quite a few players. We know Cesc Fabregas, has been mentioned quite a few times as well. But yes, as I'm saying, this is about Juan Mata mainly. Reportedly, Real Madrid are interested in Juan Mata. Juan Mata, this is his fourth season in the process of Man U. He's completed 3 seasons Man United. Very, very good player indeed. Very consistent player. But reportedly, the 12-time Champions League winners Real Madrid are reportedly interested in him. So reportedly, Man United could let him go in January, and we could cash in on Mata rather than let him go free next summer. But as I said, he's won the under-19 championship with us. Not with us, he's won the under-19 European Championship, the under-21 European Championship, won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2010. This is 4 seasons post for Man United. He's made over 2 century appearances now as Juan Mata. We know he's been in the Premier League since 2011. But Man United, I think, have been in the process to try to secure... Man United have been in the process to try and secure Juan Mata a new deal, but in the process, a new deal has not come to an agreement yet. But he does become a free agent next summer. Does Juan Mata? But part of the Real Madrid could make a move in January, because we know he's an ex-Real Madrid player, because that's where he's risen up the youth system with Real Madrid. As I said, he joined Valencia in 2007. Made during his 4 seasons with Valencia. He made 174 appearances. And, went to the likes of Chelsea. He's never won a Premier League medal. With Chelsea, he won the Champions League. He won the FA Cup. I think he won the Europa League with them as well. And then we purchased him for nearly £40 million in I think it was 2014. Yes, it was. That was during the David Moyes era at the time. We purchased Juan Mata. But yeah, that's the big breaking news in this headline. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes, below on this channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take it easy, guys. And I'll see you guys all later. Bye. Take care.